First video of the Hawksight Security Risk Management Software Training Package. And in this video, we're going to deal with logging into the system with your username and password, and then brief introduction to the dashboard interface. So to start with, you need to type in hawksightsoftware.com and then put in your username and the password that's been sent to you, and then select login. You'll see that the software is starting to respond, because down in the bottom left hand corner you'll see that it's waiting for the software to log into the URL. And what you're presented with is a map. Now what we're going to do in this video is just go through the basic functionality of the mapping page and what information is that you are looking for. So the first thing, we'll start from the left, is the find address field. Now in here you can type in a country or a street. It will recognize it in the search parameter below, and then it will zoom you to the location that you search for. Below that, I'll just close down the add a project button. We'll deal with that later. Below that is a zoom button to zoom in and out of the map as you see fit. The next thing you can see below here is a button that allows you to select different layers. And in this case, we have two layers in the system. One of them is a satellite layer, and the other is a street layer. In your version, you may have additional layers, including a terrain layer, which will show you the topography of the map. Now, there's different information that you can see being displayed on the map. So I'm briefly going to talk you through that using a zoomed out function. The first one is incidents. And the incidents show as red dots or clusters of red dots around the map. And if you click on the cluster of those dots, it will zoom you into a point on the map that it breaks those dots up into separate dots, unless there has been two incidents reported in exactly the same place, in which case you can scroll through them. Now to have a look at the summary of that information, you just left click on the dot and you'll see that it'll open up the headline, the category, etc. If you wish to get more information on it, then press Open Incident, and that will open up the incident page where it will show you more detail, and you can then set the map to whatever zoom level you would like to be able to recognize that incident better. We're going to go into more about incidents later in a later video when we talk about how to enter incidents and projects in video 2. The next bit of information that you can see are the project sites. And the project sites on this map have been represented through a series of dots. Each pin is color coded, and the color code represents the maximum risk that project is holding. So in this case, the project in Oman is holding one or more risk at significant. The one just south of Mumbai, extreme, and the projects in Nigeria are showing as high. The projects that just show as white pinheads are projects that have been set up in the system but currently haven't undergone a risk assessment. And a project is any subject for which a security risk assessment is required. So it could be an office, a person, a event, etc., etc. But we're going to go into more detail on that in video 2 when we talk about setting up a project. Now, if we go up onto the top bar, you'll see on the far left-hand side, it gives the name of the individual that's logged in. And I'm just going to run through some of the rest of the functionality of the top bar. The question mark offers you two options. The first one is to get access to the online manual. And this manual will take you step by step through the functionality of the system as we're going through right now. The next one is Raise Ticket, and this gives you the ability to access our support team directly by typing in your email address, writing in the description what you require some help with, whether that be a technical issue or further support. And if there is something on the screen that you wish to bring to the support team's notice, then you can attach a screenshot here and then go up to the Actions menu, press Save, and you'll then be alerted to the fact that you have sent a ticket by email, and then the support team will be back in touch with you. The next item is tracking data. Now, Hawksight is integrated with a number of other service providers' information, and some of that data can include tracking, whether that's asset tracking, tracking of individuals, or tracking of vehicles. And in this case, we've set up a test tracker with a company called Securo, and this is the icon here telling you that it's my iPhone being tracked. So should you wish to integrate some tracking data into your Hawksight dashboard, then you can go ahead and do that. The next balloon is giving you an indication of the different types of incident data or different sources of incident data that are currently showing on the map. The top one is My Incidents, and they're the incidents that you enter manually into the system, into the database. You'll see a series of other information sources. A commercial information source that we work with is with Protection Group International. And what you can see on the map here is the last 48 hours of information that has been supplied by a global incident feed by PGI. We also work with a number of other operators, but there are also open source, non-commercial feeds of information that we can import as a CSV file and give you access, including your own historical databases, should you require to do so. The next button is the administrator function, and in this case, we are logged in without administrator privileges. However, if you go to video number 12 at the end of the series, then we will log in as an administrator and then walk you through all the administrator functionality, much of which can be accessed from this icon. And to the far right hand side, the small try-bar button gives you a number of other different options. So we'll go through them from the top. The first one is your projects. And this is where you can either select a list of your projects with the current level of risk and where you can edit project information, or you can add a new project. Now we're going to go into this in more detail in video 2, setting up a project and entering new incidents, when we'll go to that in some more detail. The next button is client, and at the moment the default client is the client that has the accounts that you're working on. But if you wish to use it in a manner in which you have a number of different clients and a number of different projects under each client, then you can set up new clients in the system. But you'll see at the moment that the default client is just Hawksight SRA, and so all projects sit under that client name. The next button, or the next option, is the incident report list. And all that this is a list of the incidents that are entered into the system. And in a future version, you'll be able to search this incident list by country, by category, or by date. We then go into 4 master lists, and we're going to go into the master lists in more detail in video 11 towards the end of the training. So all that you need to know for now is that for the project type master, we're going to deal with that in more detail in video 2 when you set up a project. For the threat activity master, we're going to go into detail in that in video number 5 when we talk about setting up and developing your threat database. And in the risks treatment master, we will go into more detail in video number 8, which is building a risk treatment plan. We're also going to go into more detail on these in video number 11, in video number 10, where we're going to put a video dedicated to setting Hawksight up for multiple projects, which is where these master lists are going to be of most benefit to you. The final one is the threat master database, and this is where your threat data will all be set up and maintained for all the different countries in which you operate from, and we go into more detail in video number 5, developing a threat database and assigning threats to a project. So finally, on this page, in the right-hand bar, you'll see a keyword category search. And what this field allows you to do is search for particular types of incident through a keyword search. So in this case, I'm going to search for kidnap, and it will then show me that there are 3 different sources of kidnap information, but at the moment, not in the time frame that we're looking for, as nothing's showing on the map. But if I change my time frame to a greater period, so I'll take it for the last 3 years, you'll then see the system start to populate with reports of kidnaps around the world. We're going to go into a lot more information on how to search for incidents, analyze the type of incident, and reporting on incidents in video 11, Instant Analysis Functionality and Reporting. So that's it for video number 1. I hope you will be able to log on to the system with your unique username and password, and then go through the various functionality of the map to begin to get comfortable with it. The next video will be video 2, setting up a project and entering a new incident.